Hi, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be doing the exact same exercise with Koda that I did with Koda, with Polly acting in the role of another dog, okay, for the socialization exercise. Again, both dogs are doing extremely well, but again, it's really important that the motors of the dogs be tested at all points. It's all about being very intentional with building this bridge from me or the dog owners to other people, other dogs, through the relational method, through the changing script. When I talk about script, I talk about how all the methods come together to speak the language of change. Okay, so here, again, this is, I'm turning this into a little training exercise, which is what's needed, especially once you know dogs have a certain level of control and power already in the relationship. Then we have to approach it at the intervention level. It has to stay on the same consistent level for a period of time. It could be several weeks, depending on just how much control the dogs have. But again, there's indicators as you go along to show that they're starting to release control. Okay, they're starting to release power. And again, as I do this, paying attention to the state of mind of the dog, then beginning to relax, and as you start to create change. But again, focus is on meeting the pivot point. So again, I'm going to take Koda's out here on the leash. Again, I'm using the pressure collar, so I have a little better communication. And I'm using the muzzle, just so I have a protocol there for control. So nothing bad will happen. But again, it's all about, that's more about, again, making sure I have good thinking, and that once that's in a dog's toolbox, if they've ever lashed out, then again, you want to keep it safe for a period of time. Trust really comes back through, as you start to engage them at this level, okay? So again, I take Polly out, same as I did with Cotton. Yeah, so I keep this very controlled as I do it. Yeah, even as I come up here, I want to make sure that that the Koda, okay, is in a follower state. So Polly's wagging her little tail, wants to come out, but again, very controlled. I don't want them coming together suddenly or anything like that. Her coming up, right, under control. Again, as I come towards the chair here, which will be sitting down, just get kind of Polly beside me. I want to bring Koda over here on the other side. Just get him kind of sitting down a little bit. Bring her over. So again, when you do this exercise, you want to make sure you have good focus on both dogs. If I need to see tapping a little bit, I tap her, I put her into the sit position. See me kind of one-hand this. Her attention's on me. And again, same with Koda, I want his attention on me. So the picture is that I'm in between the both of them. I'm in the middle. Okay, so I fade in through this method. I'm the pivot point. Okay, so I just don't let them come together and work it out or anything like this. I'm in control. Okay, so it's about them recognizing me. Okay, a good level of focus on me always. So again, I can kind of sit down. I can relax. And again, this is the same thing where when you do this type of exercise, you can be, just comfortable. I could be watching television or whatever, doing this exercise with both dogs. Okay, so you can be comfortable, hang out. But again, see, I have both tools here going at the same time. So if I want to change how, say, a couple dogs respond and think, I want to create a balanced pack. I want to do these little exercises in the house like this, okay, and it could be in my living room or whatever, but it's on leashes, with leashes being active, making sure they're, again, coming in. Get Polly here with a good position. Again, she's looking at me, right? She's saying, well, Dale's in control, he owns everything. Again, this is about what's reasonable, so I'm not using over-the-top methods. It's again, talk about the type of influence. It's not meant to be corrective. Okay, it's relational, so it's about being proactive in that. Okay, so for example, just as Koda started to fixate towards Polly, okay, I'm going to tap the leash. Now here, what I do here with him is going to put him into a down position, down. Again, put him into a nice down position. Her, same thing. I'll bring her up a little bit closer. Down. Her into a down. You're into a down position too. Hey, down. So here, again, I want both dogs to submit, okay, even within the down position, okay? So I want him just to relax. I want Koda just to relax and just settle down here with Polly beside him, but through me. Okay, this is important. So I'm not just, again, this is important. Don't ever get into a thing about the onlooker. Okay, sometimes people will talk to me and say, Dale, I want you to look at this or look at how the dogs. No, it should be, your psychology should be, I ain't looking at nothing. Okay, I'm creating everything. Okay, I'm in control. As soon as you turn into kind of a passive type of, how you're looking at the dogs, it puts you in a position of weakness, and they feel that. Okay, we already know there's problems. Okay, so therefore I have to be the agent of change. I can't be referee or just kind of look. I have to be active in setting this picture up. I have to paint the picture myself. These are like my paintbrushes, the leashes, and I have to paint the picture with me in it. Okay, so I'm like painting through the picture. This is kind of a good analogy. Okay, looking at me as the painter. These are my paintbrushes, and I'm painting myself into the picture through the method. Okay, so you look at this picture right now, and two calm dogs. Okay, and I'm the one that is painting myself in. I'm in the middle here. I'm the pivot point, and so I have to repaint the picture. Okay, I've never been in the picture before, and so I have to, I'm the one that has to paint myself in. Okay, so you look at it as me fading into the picture. Okay, and that's when you talk about both dogs coming together more. Okay, well, I still have to make sure that I'm the pivot point. Because here's the thing: at any time, when the dogs come off the leashes, okay, once I get myself, recognized and put myself become the pivot point, at any time I should be able to say come, and both dogs come right in. So again, I'm going to call it a little bit closer to Koda, down. Same thing here, testing. So here's the thing too, is when you lay a proper foundation, okay, then going into this, okay, I already know what's going to happen. Okay, there's no, I'm not going to be scared that I'm going to have a flash over or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I mean, you can have really high, there's certain situations that when the dog becomes very intensive, because that can be a more fuel for the dog. It's like a drug, okay? So there's certain interactions, say it could be another dog, that you really have to focus in on even more, okay? Just understand that. So, but again, when you start into this method, and you start to cover off at all points, you really put the cards on the table. That's what this method does. Then when I go into certain interactions such as this, I already know what's going to happen. Okay, I already know that Koda is going to respond really well, because if you watch the videos, I spent the first few days laying the groundwork. Okay, so right from the point that both dogs showed up here in the crates, I started speaking the right language to the method. I started doing all the right things to get the groundwork going, so that when I got to certain stages, like right now, I already knew I still had to do the exercises, but I already knew what the response would be, that I'm going to have a really good result. Okay, but again, so just understand, you want to make sure you're consistent with how you do all the methods. All the methods need to come together to get you to this point, and you still have to do it, this way, but it makes it a lot easier. Okay, you're not, going into something just kind of like a cold exercise. Now that's when things can happen. So you always want to make sure, it's like consistent language of the method throughout. So every interaction, got to be the same thing. Everybody speaking the language, because really it's about changing people. This is dogs change through the person. So for me, I already am thinking properly. But again, this process here, it lays the cornerstone. So it really helps a lot when the dogs transition back home. It's going to really help a lot. Because once you get the dogs to this level, okay, once I've done it, then it's just a matter of consistency, of following the same bridge. So again, the exercise here for me is just getting Koda out here with Polly nearby, and with me faded in really good in the picture. This is the first kind of good interaction here. Again, you saw in the other video with Noah, same type of thing. But here, I'm bringing Polly. This is the first time Polly has been introduced to both Koda and Koda. You can see that going just fine. Okay, but again, you know, just picture this exercise in your home environment, how this would look, the same type of thing needs to happen. So anyway, again, you know, you see good things are happening. I'm very happy with the way that Koda and Koda are coming along. You know, transitioning very well. You know, with Koda it's the same thing, just, you know, he's holding control, so even using a remote collar at times in the crate, just on vibration. And more so for him, his only big issue is, again, food possession. When he's done his food and she still has some left, he'll start to want to show his teeth a little bit. And the last couple times, I tapped him back right away, just catching that moment. So I'm sitting right watching this go down, and when he starts to even think it, then I'll vibrate him out of that, and he just lays right down. So he just needs to be reminded to say, hey, no, I own that food. Whatever food that you think that she's got left, I own it. She knows I own it, and you know it works out really well. So it's just like a reminder. So some of the stuff turns into almost finishing work. Okay, it's not like you have to, because everything else is coming together in such a way it really makes sense to the dog. So anyway, this exercise just shows you it's going on really, really well. Just a matter of, you know, continuing to, it's like a math equation. You have to enter in, you know, the relational equation itself is true to what it is, and then you factor in, you know, Polly, another dog, another person. You just keep going through the equation. What does it covers off? It's not like you have to stick everything in that equation. Once you mark off certain things and do it the right way over and over and over again, that's what covers off everything else. Okay, so you have to kind of keep putting certain